Welcome to Cold Brew Finance's U.S. End-of-Week Deep Dive, covering market moves in indexes, sectors, stocks, and global markets. The week ending Friday, March 13th, 2026, brought significant shifts in financial markets. Kicking things off, I'm Max Profit. Key indexes were mostly down this week. The S&P 500 index closed at 6,632.20, down 107.81 points, experiencing a mixed negative trend. The Dow 30 Index and S&P 400 Midcap Index both showed strong downward volatility, closing at 46,558.48 and 3,340.95 respectively. In terms of market breadth, the S&P 500 had more decliners than advancers, with 352 declines over the week. Similarly, the Nasdaq Composite showed a clear downward bias with 1,941 declines. Generally, it's been a challenging week for the market, with broad declines. Analyzing total and daily returns reveals significant downturns this week. The Dow 30 Index had a one-week total return of minus 1.99%, highlighting its recent struggles. Meanwhile, the Russell 2000 showed a slightly better percentage, though it still experienced a negative weekly return. Annual returns over a decade for major indexes paint a different picture. The Nasdaq Composite Index boasts a 16.62% annual rate of return over 10 years, highlighting its long-term growth potential. In contrast, Russell 2000 shows a much more moderate growth rate of 8.59% over the same period.
Checking out best and worst performing equities, I'm Penny Stock. Acurx Pharmaceuticals leads the gainers with a close at 3.88, climbing 2.53, or an impressive 187.4% this week. Following is Garden Stage Limited Ordinary Shares, closing at 19.99, up by 10.45, marking a 109.5% gain. Weekly, Acurx Pharmaceuticals saw a total return of 187.4%, with an average daily increase of 32.32%. Micron Internet Technology, Global, also surged, boasting a weekly total return of 109.1%. Despite new lows, these stocks showcased compelling daily growth amid market volatility. Long-term returns show a varied performance. Micron Technology has seized a 349.13% increase over 1 year, with a notably strong annual return rate. In contrast, Acurx Internet Technology, Global, presented a drop in returns on the 1-year rate, even as positive short-term signals emerge. In the big cap sector, Micron Technology displayed robust performance, climbing to 426.13, rising by 55.83 or 15%. CF Industries set a new all-time high at 129.57. Volatility remains high, yet trends are decisively bullish. Considering returns, CF Industries achieved a 68.7% annual rate. Meanwhile, Mosaic and Western Digital posted noteworthy returns, reflecting strong market activity, with levels surpassing 100% in the shorter term. Analyzing annual returns, Micron Technology excelled with growth exceeding 300% over the past year. Western Digital continued to rank high, posting a robust 547.85%. Long-term performance further underscores strength within these big caps. Shifting focus to the poorer performers, eHome household service plunged, closing at a new low of 0.10 after shedding 88.7%. Immutep fell to 0.48 with a second week of declines. Dips reflect ongoing downward momentum. Daily and total returns portray a harsh scene for eHome household service, decreasing nearly 89%, with daily losses averaging over 29.5%. Innovation Beverage also tanked, sliding 80.1%, signaling sustained downward pressures. In a challenging week, eHome Household Service saw its share price plummet 88.7% to close at 0.10, marking a new all-time low. Meanwhile, Imitep dropped 82.4%, also setting a record low. Both stocks follow a very strong negative trend, with Imitep breaking out downward after days of flat pricing. This week, Fair Isaac posted a significant decline of 23.3% to close at 1,131.22, hitting a new one-year low. Centene wasn't far behind, dropping 21% with a back-to-back week of losses and marked by strong downward volatility. Notable losses continue with Paramount Skydance Corporation Class B and Ulta Beauty. Paramount Skydance fell 18.9% with a new one-year low milestone. Ulta Beauty recorded a mixed negative trend with more than a 17% decline. In annual comparisons, Campbell Soup experienced a downturn with a close at 21.71, dropping 15.8% and clinching an all-time low. This stock fits the overall pattern of strong negative trends among big caps, which include others with new record low closes this week.
And now on to U.S. sector performance. The energy sector achieved a weekly close of 881.60, gaining 18.19 points, or 2.1%. It celebrates a new all-time higher close, maintaining a very strong positive trend, having closed higher for 12 consecutive weeks. Meanwhile, utilities closed at 474.37, with a minor gain of 1.79, marking a very strong positive trend despite undergoing price consolidation. In contrast, consumer defensive fell by 2.24 points to close at 951.64, drifting sideways throughout the week. Technology experienced a decline, closing down 43.95 points at 5,302.9, while communication services decreased by 5.42 to end at 438.74, both continuing negative trends. Reviewing market breadth, the energy sector showed 98 advances versus 48 declines daily and strong monthly performance with 109 advances. Utilities had a split daily with 39 advances against 46 declines but are faring better weekly. Consumer defensive saw more declines daily at 130 versus 61 advances. Technology and communication services recorded higher declines, indicating continued pressure in these sectors. In terms of returns, the energy sector is noteworthy with a year-to-date return of 28.26%. It leads with a strong daily average return of 0.52%. Meanwhile, consumer defensive shows a moderate 10.03% year-to-date return. Technology and communication services reflect downward pressure with negative weekly and monthly returns. Looking at long-term returns, the technology sector impresses with a notable 22.3% ARR over a decade, reflecting its robust growth despite recent declines. Meanwhile, the communication services sector also shows a solid 10.04% over 10 years. Other sectors like the energy sector demonstrate steadier growth over long durations.
U.S. energy stocks are showing a strong upward momentum with leading performers. Occidental Petroleum closed at 57.88, a rise of 3.69, marking a new one-year high. APA continued its positive streak for 9 weeks, closing at 34.47. Phillips 66 set a new all-time high, closing at 172.74. In recent returns, Occidental Petroleum showed a weekly return of 6.8%, while APA displayed a notable 5.4%. Meanwhile, ConocoPhillips realized a total return of 4.1% this week. Phillips 66 exhibited a 4% return, reflecting strong performance. Over the long term, APA showcases an impressive one-year total return of 81.04%, while Phillips 66 recorded an exceptional one-year total return of 41.01%. ConocoPhillips has a noteworthy 10-year annual rate of return at 11.64%.
The worst-performing sectors this week included the financial services sector, closing at 809.90 with a drop of 28.84, marking a 3.4% decrease. Meanwhile, the industrial sector closed at 1,390.61, down by 45.67 or 3.1%. Both demonstrated a strong downward trend. Market breadth in the U.S. worst-performing sectors showed substantial declines. In the financial services sector, one-week declines were significantly higher with 492 compared to just 94 advances. The industrial sector followed a similar pattern with 481 declines against 157 advances this week. During this period, total and daily returns reflect ongoing weakness. For the financial services sector, the one-week total return decreased by 3.44%, showing continued downward momentum. The industrial sector experienced a similar decrease with a 3.18% drop, illustrating a challenging week for both sectors. Longer-term returns show contrasting trends. The financial services sector achieved a 154.85% three-year total return, while the industrial sector saw a 187.34% yearly increase over the same period. Despite short-term downturns, these sectors held notable gains over 10 years.
Some financial stocks have been on a downward trajectory recently. FactSet Research Systems ended the week significantly lower at 205.65, falling 20.22. Moody's also fell sharply, closing at 430.1, a drop of 41.96. Both displayed a strong negative trend. Looking at returns, Arthur J. Gallagher recorded notable drops, down 8.8% over the week and hitting a new one-year lower close. Meanwhile, Fifth Third Bancorp has been experiencing significant downward volatility, closing 3 weeks lower consecutively. Over a longer time frame, Arthur J. Gallagher faced a negative annual return of -35.6%. Despite a tough week, Fifth Third Bancorp showed resilience over the decade, with an annual ARR of 9.57%. Franklin Resources faced mixed returns, highlighting sector volatility.
Thanks for watching. I'm Max Profit, along with my AI co-host Penny Stock. Please like, subscribe, comment, share. Cold Brew Finance is an experimental project with market reports written, narrated, and delivered totally by AI, with market data kindly provided by financialmodelingprep.com. Always seek professional financial advice before making any investment decisions. Check into the channel daily for coverage of stocks, crypto, currency, and commodities. Thanks for watching.